So what's up? My name's Quinn, and this is my story of how I became a college football player. So I played high school football, and I was a punter freshman year and a really bad quarterback as well, which is why I took a little bit more of a liking to punting because I was actually okay at it. I could kick a ball pretty well. And in high school, I had a perfect, fun high school career. Had a blast senior year punting the ball. Caught one ball at wideout, but I kind of just stayed to the special teams. And it was good enough that I definitely knew I had the leg to play in college. Not necessarily maybe at D1, but at D2, D3 level. And so I set my sights on Humboldt State, initially planning to come play football, be near the ocean, study kinesiology, and then be some sort of doctor growing up. That was the initial plan. But this plan got derailed. And this is where the fun of the story comes in. So after my senior year of high school, I'm training and getting ready to be a big-time college football player, right? I had this big ego, this big mentality, and kind of a really good work ethic, but to the point when it was almost my Achilles heel. And this Achilles heel, my work ethic came in when I started having a little bit of knee pain in my left knee, which is your plant knee and punting. A lot of pressure goes through it when you kick the ball. But me having this kind of ego, this complex, whatever you may call it, I kept pushing and pushing, working out on my knee, even to the point when I'd wake up, I could barely walk, but I would make myself do sprints. It wasn't healthy. It was very, very unhealthy. But I kept doing it, and I kept working out until one day I couldn't really walk, I couldn't sleep without pain, and I had to go to the doctor and figure out what was wrong with it. Pretty much we figured out that it was inflammation, but it was like so deep and so gnarly that I kind of have almost essentially like a pebble of inflammation in my knee, which doesn't sound like much, but the pain like just completely killed all my momentum going forward. And my grandiose dreams of being a college football player ceased to exist. So that's where I found myself freshman year at Humboldt. I was 18-year-old freshman and don't have any friends, new school, new town. And I remember walking by the football field and seeing them practice and just getting this visceral pain, this like I should be there. Why am I not there? And anger. And on a whim, on an impulse, I just walked up to a coach during practice and said, "How can I help? My name's Quinn." And he said, "Talk to me after practice." So I waited along, and he brought me into his office, and he said, "We need help with our practice film." And then that reminded me that from my past, I used to be into making gaming videos and videos like that. So I knew how to edit. And I said, "Yeah, I can help with videos. I actually know how to edit. Maybe we can make some fun little highlight videos." And pretty much fast forward, my dad set up his camera, and I got to film all 4 or 5 home games that year and make little edits of them. And it was really fun, honestly. It rekindled my love for filmmaking, and little fire I never really knew I had burning inside of me. I got really into making videos again. It was kind of special. And then as my videos started to kind of gain steam and I got a little more recognition, I ended up actually getting hired on as a football coach that spring of my freshman year. So I was like on the roster as a 19-year-old football coach, that was a pretty interesting turn event, doing the videos and the social media and all the kind of surface level PR stuff for the team. And that was a blast. And going to my sophomore year, keep in mind, during this whole time, my knee is like dead, by the way. Definitely knew I'm never going to play again. And also knew never going to sprint. I'll be lucky if I can jog again. I had the ambitions of being about a 55-year-old man on a Saturday morning. I just want to go on a jog, and that's it. But anywho, so my sophomore year, I was on as coach, and this was a really fun year because I made a documentary series every week called Drive On, which was about like a 8 to 12-minute documentary series for every week of our season. And I got to travel with the team and make this series. And it was extra special this year because that was the year when we first figured out that our team was potentially going to be cut by the school. So that was kind of the main narrative of the documentary, sort of the driving force of it, that we're not just fighting for us, we're literally fighting for our team, and if we don't win, maybe that's the end of us. And the season actually went very well. We went 8-2. Didn't make playoffs because it's kind of hard to make playoffs. You have to go can't lose to make playoffs here. Anywho, teams ends up being saved. And during this time, my knee starts to get a little better. I work out every day, but I don't necessarily work out legs every day. But I slowly started to jog, like 1 lap, and then 2 laps, and 3 laps. And then one day I was on the field, and I just said, maybe I can kick a ball again. And I kicked a ball, it flew off my leg, and I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna try for this again. Even though as rocky as my knee is, I'm just gonna go for it. And if I fail, you know what? I'm gonna fail, and that's gonna be okay. So I went up to the head coach, and I said, hey, Coach Smith, this might be a bit of a surprise for you, but I'd like to walk on the team as a punter. He said, sounds good. Go to the spring workouts, and we'll give you a chance. So I went to the spring workouts, went to spring ball, had an atrocious spring ball. Horrible. I could punt a ball decently, but I wasn't there. Physically, I really wasn't there. I'm still trying to gain back my leg strength. My knee is still like every other day just killing me, taking ice baths every day. So it was rocky, but I was persistent. I kept going. Stayed up here all summer so I could focus on football, and worked out every day with the team. And every day I got a little faster and a little stronger and kicked the ball a little better. And everything kind of started to mesh and glue together. And then fall camp came along. Keep in mind, I'm a junior by now. Fall camp came along, and there's 3 senior punters over me, and I'm technically a freshman at the time, football-wise. And, I'm competing with them, and I'm doing well, and I'm just climbing the depth chart, but I'm still not there. In the first game, they don't travel me, and I was pretty bummed out. I thought, man, also, caveat, I'm going to have to backtrack a little bit. We found out that summer I was working out that this is our last year of football at Humboldt ever. Which means for me, I was like, well, this is my last chance to ever play college football. A dream I've had since I was a freshman in high school. So that put a lot of added pressure on, I can't just not play this year and, I'll start next year when the senior leaves. That's not an option. That's literally not an option. So I had so much pressure on me, and I had a lot of deep talks and just trying to figure my stuff out, because I knew I had the leg for it, but I got to hit that ball every time, be consistent. And actually, one of the senior punters recommended that we have a punt contest to see who starts. And the one thing that's kind of good about me is under pressure, at least football-wise, I always seem to kind of outperform myself, even what I thought I could do. And we had the punt competition, and I won it by a landslide. And the coach walked out to me and said, Quinn, you're going to start this week. We're going to see how you do. And I got to start the game, and I had a heck of a game. It was really fun. And I just remember after the game running and giving my dad the biggest hug in the world. And all my friends jumped on me, and we were all smiling and laughing. And that's one of those moments I'll never forget. I'll 100% never forget. Just so special. So many, I literally thought I'd never sprint again, let alone play a college football game and start and do well. And there I found myself just free and happy and filled with joy. And I swear I was smiling for about 4 days after that. It was really special and really sweet. And anywho, yeah, then the rest of the season, I had a good year. No punts returned, no punts blocked, but that's not really the part that matters. Football is fun and everything, but being out for so long, it gave me a nicer perspective on things. Also, knowing that was our last year ever, and my last year ever, it gave me another nice perspective on things. During the worst workouts, I'd be like, this is pretty cool. I'm surrounded by 80 dudes I'm cool with. This is kind of special. And we'd go on the road trips, and we'd be in the bus for 13 hours at a time. Everyone would be complaining. I'd be loving it. I'd be like, dude, we're traveling around the country. This is awesome. And I think that was honestly, that's the part that I look back on that I'm going to remember. I'm not really going to remember, taking the snaps and kicking the ball. I'm just going to remember, all like laughing during practice and all the horrible workouts and everyone's throwing up, but it's kind of funny because we're all throwing up and just looking at my friends in the stands and smiling and waving, and I don't know, those are the parts I'm going to remember. And gosh, good days, glory days, fun times. And yeah, I guess just the people aspect of football is one of my favorite parts. The friends I've made. I've really made some close friends over the years playing football, even in college. Like some guys I hang out with all the time will definitely be at my wedding, and that's one thing I'm grateful for. It all kind of worked out. We don't have a team anymore, but I did it. I had a goal, I completed it, and also I never got lost in the goal. I kind of just took every day for fun and just tried to have fun even at the most monotonous times during film and practice. I just tried to have a blast, live in the moment. And looking back, I can't do anything but smile. It was a great experience.
That was good. That was perfect.